before the video does begin, we got a new code. The code for today is JJKPP Sorcerer, and with that you can get 20,000 Beacon of Training, which is actually kind of useful. So go ahead and claim it right now if you haven't already done so. Alright lads, so it looks like the Phantom Parade hype is not dying down anytime soon, because starting tomorrow we have our very first new banner introducing Junpei. We'll talk about him in a minute. And even though you're likely not going to summon on his banner, we also have something else to look forward to, a new event coming to the game, and we're going to be going over both of those things all in this video. First up, let's have a look at Junpei. So his banner in particular will be here from the 12th to the 21st, so not too long to summon for him. I'll say right from the get-go, I don't think he is the character you should be summoning for. As I and many others have been saying, right now you should be saving your cubes for Yuta. Someone like Junpei is a character that you can get later on, and he also isn't really anything super crazy. But alongside him, we're also getting the Imaginary Youth SSR recollection. We'll talk about that in a sec. But first, let's have a quick breakdown on how Junpei does actually play. One of his unique characteristics is that he will increase his own damage output if there are any Tokyo Jujutsu High students present on the field. So this goes for Nabara, Megumi, Yuta, for example. His first skill will be a single target curse technique attack, 110% to one enemy, while also simultaneously decreasing their curse technique damage by 20% for 3 turns. For his very first skill, I like it, I don't dislike it. Upon getting that to level 10, you can get the upwards to 31%. His second skill, which will cost 30 energy, will grant attack nullification to himself, allowing him to take no damage whatsoever, while at the same time attracting all enemies to him, and then also giving all your allies except yourself a 10% damage decrease, allowing them to be a tad bit tankier. At level 10, it does get a tad bit higher, strictly only looking at this particular part here, the damage received buff that your allies do get. Going up to 19%, it's only an extra 9% increase. This skill almost doesn't even look like it's worth upgrading in all honesty. It's there to play the defensive role, and I guess it can if you are going against a single target enemy, but if there are multiple enemies, you're quickly going to get attacked here. And it kind of does suck that the damage received buff that he does give to your team does not include himself. When it comes to his third skill though, he'll do a single target attack focused with his curse technique, while at the same time doing 30% continuous curse technique damage, in this case under the class of poison, to any enemy for 3 turns, while also at the same time increasing the damage they do take by 10%. And if you level that up to level 10, the damage received buff goes up to 15%, whereas the single target attack goes up by 40%. When it comes to his ultimate, he'll do 400% curse technique damage to a single target, this time however dealing 120% poison damage to any enemy you do select, and then decrease the damage they can do if they are a curse technique user. His auto skills will have him increase his damage output by 7.5% at the start of the game, which will get further increased depending on the amount of Tokyo Jujutsu High students that are in your fields. Personally, what I'm seeing here with Junpei is that he's more of a DPS focused unit with some survivability, but it's clear that his damage output isn't going to be nearly as high. The poison effect, while it is cool, it's definitely going to be a gimmick when compared to other units that could just deal significantly more damage. For what I'm looking at here, his skills are also pretty high. For the most part, you're going to be mainly using that skill number 1, which does have a decent effect to in all honesty. But I feel like it does suck a bit that both his second and third skill cost 30 energy. He's definitely going to have an issue with energy, and just overall make for a very awkward unit. A unit that I don't think is worth summoning for, especially right now, considering the fact that we have some big banners, big characters coming away in the next 3 weeks, month, 2 months. To make Junpei better though, ideally you do also want to get his recollection, and this is where it starts to make the character make more sense, where in this case the ability for this recollection recovers own curse energy by 15. You get to use it every 4 turns, so that doesn't sound too bad in all honesty, nothing super crazy though. And if you are able to limit break it, you are able to get 3 buffs here. Increase all enemies Jujutsu damage received, curse technique damage received by 10%. And if the enemy is poisoned, you can then do 20% more damage to them. However, unfortunately in his case, it only starts from the 6th turn onwards. So even the recollection you can easily skip, and it really only wants to be used on Junpei. I could definitely see you maybe get a use out of this if you're trying to rush and do a lot of damage in the first 2 turns. But nothing from what I'm seeing here is screaming that I have to summon. So ultimately, I feel like most people could skip this with ease, definitely myself included. After that though, we also do have a new event. Now this is going to be a somewhat different compared to the event that we have in-game right now. What we have right now is a story event, and this one is going to be a map event. And I believe there's also another type of event, a boss event, and it's going to cycle between the three of them. So this one is going to be actually giving us a new SSR recollection for free, and this one's actually surprisingly quite decent. Because this particular recollection, if we have a look here, does actually give you a 60% damage dealt increase. That's actually really good for a free-to-play recollection, in my opinion. The best part about it is that it's usable for everyone. Whether you're a physical user or a curse user, everyone is able to get a damage buff from this. And if you have yet to do a lot of summons, this can definitely be a good recollection that you can use for the time being until you do get better, newer, and rarer recollections. And if you do Limit Breaker under half stamina, I believe you do recover more curse energy so you can do your attacks, but it only happens once. But it will last 3 turns at the very least. For a free recollection, honestly, I really do like this. Now, the event itself, if we do scroll down, of course, there are going to be bonuses. Junpei will be a bonus. This will be a bonus. This will also be a bonus. There's actually a lot going on with this event, but I believe the quests themselves will be staggered over a few days. So when this does release tomorrow, you will be able to do a bunch of quests, and then you will have to wait for the next quest to unlock the next day and the next day after that. But the idea is that you are going to be progressing through the map, unlocking really good items like the recollection, some summon tickets, other rare items, and Jujutsu crystals. Cubes too. Obviously, cubes are important. There's going to be a bunch of different stages. There's going to be a bunch of different difficulties. And there's also going to be a score battle, which I believe is going to serve as a ranking event. Again, like I mentioned, there's a lot to go over, and we're better off talking about it when it does release tomorrow. But you can see here that there is going to be a score battle where I think the idea is that you want to clear as fast as possible, deal as much damage as possible against the harder difficulties if possible. And then with that, you can get some extra summon tickets and even a unique title depending on the score that you do get. I actually don't think this is a ranking event, but more so try and get a high score to get these good rewards. Limited time rewards too. This title in particular, again, will never come back. So if you want to try and go for that rainbow, now's the time to do so, starting from tomorrow. There's also a unique thing about this particular boss. Decrease the enemy's HP to knock it down. They would then take more damage, so use the opportunity to deal a lot of damage. But once the count will then reach 0, he will then enter phase 2, where he becomes even more powerful. It honestly sounds like a fun event. Looks like there's a lot to do here. And hopefully we have enough time to do it. Because a lot of us right now are still working through these story modes and also still trying to finish up this event. This has 9 days to go, so I would definitely say focus on this one for the most part and then move on to the next one. Now, to be fair, I haven't been dumping all my stamina into this event, so I maybe could have finished it sometime soon. But even me, as someone that has a 50% bonus, I do own Yuji, and I do own it now, the recollection at max dupe. I'm only currently on box number 5, about to enter box number 6, and then eventually 7. So I still have, even myself, quite a while away to go before I do finish up this event, and I assume it would be the same for many other players. So getting another event so soon is kind of crazy. There can be a thing as too much content, but hopefully most of us can still finish up this event and also the other one. The other event might not be as grindy as this one. We'll find out tomorrow. But either way, we have some pretty cool stuff coming our way. A new banner, a new event. I'm also looking forward to the new event because I'm definitely not summoning on Junpei. But let me know in the comments below if you plan to summon. I doubt anyone will be, but maybe this community has a massive Junpei fan out there. I guess now's your time to shine. Hope you liked and enjoyed the video though. See you guys next time. Take care and peace.